Yo, my dudes, what's going on? David here, and welcome to another reaction. This episode, we are diving into Breaking Bad Season 1, Episode 5, called Gray Matter. If you haven't caught the other episodes, you should definitely do so now, so you're all caught up on what I feel about the show, at least, and definitely have more sense on what we are doing here in this episode. The last episode we watched, we left off on my boy Walt pretty much torching and blowing up that dick of a man that was like a real douche. He blew up his car. He put like wiper fluid or whatever all over the battery, which sparked it into flame. So we are already seeing that Walt is becoming he's been desperate since the beginning because of the cancer and pretty much like his financial stuff, but now we are seeing a more, every now and then he keeps having these like lashed out where he's losing his mind, and he's already killed Domingo, and he's already pretty much beat up that one guy in the store for picking on his kid. And then now we saw him with the wiper fluid pretty much blow that guy's car up, so that was pretty cool. And then we got to see a little different side of Jesse as well, where Jesse, we got to see his family and how that was, and his upbringing, which was like a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And so we got all this cool stuff in that last episode, probably one of my favorite episodes so far. And we're just going to keep the wheels turning. This thing is going. I could definitely feel why so many people praise this show, and I am definitely excited to continue the series. But with that being said, if you find yourself enjoying this video at any point in time, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what I can do to further entertain you guys, because at the end of the day, that is all I want to do, is entertain you guys. These are shows you guys love, and I want to continue to react to them and entertain you guys in the meantime. And if you enjoyed enough, head on over to Patreon. There's about 2-3 episodes ahead over there. There's extra early episodes over there for them. It's full, uncut, unedited, because YouTube has so much copyright stuff. There's nothing over there that's being edited out. You get to see everything raw, first on reaction. So it's great stuff. Or if not, you can wait for them to air here, which they will be airing here maybe once a week or so. I'm still trying to figure all that out. But yeah, you know what time it is. Buckle your seatbelts. Let's ride.
Says curriculum.
Oh, my boy
vitae,
Jesse getting a job.
which I think is more professional, but you know, same thing pretty much.
That's, wow, great. But this position truly is a no experience necessary kind of thing.
Well, and it doesn't really say it here, but I have a solid background in sales.
Thanks for the toke.
Anytime. Speaking of which, you think you could maybe hook me up with some crystal?
Nah, man, I've been out of the business for a while. Actually, now, thinking about retiring.
What? No!
Yeah.
That stuff you made is unbelievable.
It was pretty awesome. Anyway, I mean, pseudo's getting harder and harder to come by. And
Yo, I can hook you up with some pseudo. Major pseudo. I got channels, bro. We could partner up.
Oh, it's been ages.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, it's really good.
That was really awkward between them two.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here. When are you due? We have about 10 more weeks. And actually, we recently found out that it's a girl. So, yeah.
Listen, we ought to get together more often. You know, Skylar and I would love to have you and Gretchen over for dinner sometime.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't seem
You know
into
what
it.
I mean is that you and I should work together again.
Oh.
What, are you going to teach high school?
No, seriously. What's stopping us?
Oh. He told him, and that's why he's offering the job. He's upset.
Hey, did you try those prosciutto wrapped figs? They were like, wow. They were just, I must have had about 30 of those suckers.
One less thing to stress about, Walt. Funny.
You got something for me?
Oh, hells yeah.
Okay, we're in business. Right on, Badger.
Dude,
You know, what you're asking is illegal.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
I could have talked my way out of it.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
What? You never tried to buy beer when you were my age?
I'll talk about you calling me and not your father.
The pot?
You told me the kid was smoking reefer.
That's what Skylar told me. I mean, you may as well have. I wasn't talking about Walter Jr. I was talking about Walt. We really need to do is sit him down, all of us, and get everything out on the table. Talk it all through.
You mean
I don't think that's gonna work.
intervention?
No, just a family meeting where everyone can voice their concerns and be heard.
Good enough.
No. Yo, he's about to throw it out.
yo, what are you doing?
Get the fuck out
Are you
of
out of
here.
your mind? I totally would have smoked that.
Look, it's not for you, it's for our customers. They're gonna demand a certain standard.
What? What are you? What?
We'll just
He's
do
thinking
it again
now.
until we get it right.
Please have a seat and join us.
No, I wouldn't do it. I don't like being ambushed like that. Forgetting one of the steps.
We can do better.
Don't you fucking think about it.
Hey,
Come on. 3 entire pounds of pseudo wasted. Do you know how long I had to spin that stupid sign? Get off me, psycho! Helicopter, bitch!
Oh crap. Yo.
I'll give you that. But now that Elliot is more than willing to pitch in, Walt, I understand that it's hard for you to accept help. Maybe it's the way you were raised. But, honey, it's okay to lean on people now and again. Pillow.
All right, look, buddy. I know I don't get to tell you this enough, but I care about you. Hell of a lot, man.
Walt, like,
All right,
man,
look.
why I gotta sit through this right now?
Look at it this way, okay? It's the bottom of the ninth. Bases are loaded. You're up. But you got a bum arm, all right? There's no freaking way you're gonna hit a homer, okay? So you can either let the pinch hitter take the bat, or you can hold on to your pride and lose the game. You get what I'm saying?
I do not get what he's saying with that.
No.
Really
I'm
harsh.
pissed off.
Tell him.
I'm pissed off. Cause you're being. You're a pussy. You're like
Ouch.
ready to give up. You're. God. What if you gave up on me, huh?
I think you should do whatever you want to do.
What?
And no, I have the
Told
pillow.
us to be honest about our feelings. Walt's the
Exactly.
one with cancer. It's his decision. It's not up to any of us.
Quiet your mouth. I got the pillow. Let me talk.
Do this.
Hey. I wasn't planning on agreeing with Walt. But after sitting here and listening to you all talk about his future like he has no say in it,
These doctors are talking about surviving. 1 year, 2 years, like it's the only thing that matters. But what good is it to just survive if I am too sick to work,
Oh,
to enjoy a meal,
oh.
to make love, cleaning up after me? me what some dead man, some artificially alive, just marking time? No.
That was touching. That was really touching. Let's see if Skylar listens to that or not. It sucks because she's upset and she has her reasons to be upset. And then he has a, like I said, very valid points where he doesn't want to, basically be a vegetable that people have to take care of. He's gonna do it?
I'll do the treatment.
It's crazy. Against his will, he's gonna do it because of his love for her.
Elliot.
Oh.
Oh, hey. Hey, Gretchen.
It's about you and me.
What about you?
Gretchen, I really appreciate the offer. I do. But we're fine. As it turns out, the insurance came through after all. So, I am covered. Want to cook?
Hell yeah, Jesse wants to cook. Ah, man. Man, oh man. Alrighty. Wow, there's a lot to cover here. And hopefully I don't rant on for about 15-20 minutes. But okay, I'm gonna just start out by saying that my grade for this episode is an 8 for one reason only. I thought that the beginning of the episode was kind of slower, but then I thought once we got to that intervention between Walt and his loved ones, the show just it just skyrocketed. It was insane. So the beginning half of it, I was leaning towards like a 6-7 range, probably closer to a 7, and then the later half of it, I was 9-10 range. So that's why I'm just gonna go with an 8 with this one, because there is a lot that this episode. At first, I was like, this episode's just gonna be like one of those like filler episodes. It's just to add to the count. And I was even like gonna rule it like if I was recommending the show for somebody else, that I would tell them that they could possibly even skip this episode, but no, they cannot. Like I said, the episode picks up so well in the later half of the episode, and it was insane. Just an outstanding episode. A slow start again, but definitely picked up in the later half of it. There's just so much going on. In the beginning of the episode, we get pretty much Jesse looking for a job, trying to do things away from cooking. And so he thought he was going to land a sales job, but instead it was just going to be advertising through those people that, you know, spin the signs and do all that stuff. And so he didn't want to do that. But then he meets a friend or an old buddy of his that pretty much doing it to clear his image, and tells Jesse that that he wants some product, and Jesse's like, nah, I don't do that anymore. I don't cook anymore, whatever. And the guy's like, nah, man, I can get you some stuff. We can partner up. We can cook this and that. And so we're pretty much seeing like Jesse away from Walt, and then Walt away from Jesse. So like the split up, we're seeing, you know, two sides of the split up. And so Walt, we're seeing he's going to an old buddy's house for a birthday party, and pretty much just trying to continue life, knowing what he has. And so he is going to a buddy of his, Elliot, that he helped create a very popular, well-known company with, and that are continuing in that. He went to teaching, and so they pretty much kind of sort of were just there at the party. They have a little conversation. Then we meet, I think her name was Gretchen, which is Elliot's wife. And like instantly I was like, oh, they're kind of like, there's this like awkward tension between the two of them. And so I'm glad they finally, they didn't go into detail about what happened between them, but you know that something happened between them, and they sort of kind of gave us that answer later on. But then pretty much they're talking, and I guess on the invitations, Elliot said no gifts. So Walt just kind of brought like a little jokeful gift, thinking that it was like a crappy gift. And so the fact that it meant so much to Elliot was really cool. I don't know if that was prior to Skylar talking to Elliot. I'm going to assume that it wasn't. I'm assuming that Skylar talked to him afterwards, before they had the conversation, Elliot and Walt. But still some really good stuff. And then I thought for a second there that he was just really going to offer his old buddy that helped him with the company with a job, just out of like, thank you type of mentality. But no, Skylar went behind his back and was like, pretty much, Walt has cancer, this and that. And so like that was really crazy. And so then Walt got very upset about that, obviously. And so they storm out of the party. And Walt's obviously upset with Skylar, because he doesn't want anyone's pity. He doesn't want anyone's money. He doesn't want anyone's help. And he doesn't want to go through with the chemo to begin with, because of the fact that later on we figure out that he doesn't want to be this vegetable that people have to care about. And he doesn't want to live his last days as sick, because that is going to leave a lasting impression on his family. And to a degree, like I'm telling you, I agree with Walt, because like I said, I lost my father to lung cancer. And so it's definitely what I remember, because I was only about 7 years old, and all I could ever remember, the memories that I have, is of my dad being sick, and not the memories of him being healthy and able to do things. So it is definitely I guess that's why I like could relate a lot to the show, and like why the whole Walt stuff really it's really touching, because of the fact that I went through it. And so it's something that's very sad to see. It's something that I can understand both sides with Skylar and with Walt, because of the fact that she just wants her husband to be there. Kids grow up, and when the kids continue on with life, but Walt doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be taken care of. He doesn't want to he just doesn't want to be that vegetable that can't do anything for himself. So I understand both sides of that. And then we got to see Jesse, and I didn't catch his friend's name, but they start cooking together. And Jesse, you can tell Jesse took a lot of information from Walt, because he definitely retained a lot of that information, and he was like actually naming what everything was. And so that was pretty cool. And then he was pretty much trying to get that perfect drug, but he couldn't. He kept saying that it was like smoky looking and it should look like glass. And so he couldn't get it, and so he was being mad. And then again, to a degree, I understand why his friend was pissed, because yes, I know you want to have high quality stuff, but at the end of the day, like, don't throw out all of it. I'm pretty sure they could have sold it to like whatever, just people that wanted it so desperately. And so they get into a little skirmish, and the guy does some weird freaking like helicopter move, but doesn't even hurt Jesse. I don't know why he did that at all. But yeah, they get into a fight. I thought for a second that he was gonna shoot that arrow at Jesse, and then I thought he was gonna shoot at the tire, but he didn't. He just shot to the back. And so Jesse left that guy there, and yeah, and then pretty much we jump into more touching Walt stuff with the chemo and all that. He finally agreed to do it. Finally agreed. I think out of the love that he has for his wife to go ahead through and go through with the process. And so that again, just sad, touching moments. And it's crazy. It's just really crazy. I didn't think that this show would have that much of an impact on me, but it has. It definitely is a really great show, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And then towards the end, we got to see Jesse and Walt team up again, and Walt wants to cook again, and so he went to Jesse, and Jesse and Walt are gonna cook again. So it's crazy. I think his mindset is still that he doesn't want anyone to pay for him, which I know a lot of men that are like that. They don't want help from anyone else. They feel like it is their job to do it, and so he doesn't want to have to lean on anyone. And so I understand it 100%. I thought the intervention little get together that they had was probably some of the best acting that I've seen in the show up to date. Like, I think that Hank did a good job, Walt did a good job, Walt Jr. did a good job, Skyler, everyone was tearing up, and even Hank's wife, that threw me off completely, that she stood up for Walt, and pretty much she has seen it as well from the doctor side of it, where she's like, pretty much everyone that goes in for these kind of things, they don't make the decision themselves. They go based off of what their family wants, and she can see it in their eyes that they don't want to go through with it sometimes. And so it was just very cool to see someone stand up for Walt. And I just think that scene in general, it pulled the weight of this episode, because again, it was just a slower kind of just a good solid episode, but then that intervention really pulled this this whole episode up for me, and I ended up really enjoying the episode a lot. I don't know if you guys agree with me. If you do, comment below and tell me why you agree or why you disagree with it. It is definitely, it was a slower episode early on, but like I said, it really started throwing some good punches, acting wise, and some definitely touching moments. But yeah, if you disagree, agree, whatever, comment down below. You know I love the feedback, so definitely give me as much feedback as you guys can. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff as well, and head on over to Patreon. Don't forget about that for the full uncut, unedited reactions, because that's definitely some good stuff as well. But that is all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you guys later. Be ease.